YouTube! It's GTA Lime teaching you how to perfect your crime in GTA Online. Today's subject is the bunkers, but more specifically, the bunkers in 2022, how they stack up against everything else, and if they're still worth doing. This video is going to have absolutely every possible piece of information you could want on the bunkers, so go ahead and drop a like and subscribe if I'm new to you, so you can find your way back here in the future. Now then, the first thing you guys are going to need to know is which bunker to buy. Seriously, your bunker location is a lot more important than some other businesses because if you get the wrong one, it's going to be almost impossible to make a sale where you have more vehicles than you do people. I recommend you save up your money and buy any of these three, and I'm going to tell you why I selected these three specifically right now. Ah, yes, Zancudo. Coming in at $1.55 million, this is the cheapest bunker on my list. But make no mistake, this is a great bunker. It's right next to the military base, meaning that if you do happen to own a hangar in there, you can pull out directly over your bunker in a jet to protect the sale. It's also right on the highway, meaning one person can typically deliver two vehicles in the given time. Now I'm sure you guys already know what this bunker is. Good old Chumash. Coming in at 1.65 million, it's actually relatively cheap, especially considering physically it's the best location in the game, and you can't argue that. I don't know why it's not more expensive because a lot of people realize with their eyes that this is the best location. And when they see it's not the most expensive, they go ahead and buy it. So chances are if you're in a full lobby with 30 players and you try to do a sale mission, if you have to leave one of those vehicles behind, someone's probably going to end up going to their bunker or spawning, possibly blowing up your stuff. So just be aware that you're more likely to encounter other players around your bunker if you do choose to go with the Chumash bunker. The final location I wanted to mention was the farmhouse. Now, this is relatively expensive, coming in at $2.375 million. I would say this bunker is more for players who already have a ton of money. Now, the location itself is good because you're right next to the highway, but it is a slightly longer drive to the city than the previously mentioned bunker. So, now you're probably asking yourself, well, if the other one's in a better location and cheaper, why would I get this one? And it's simply for the reason a lot of people buy Chumash. And if you don't want a lot of players near your stuff when you're trying to make sales, especially if you're a solo player, then just go ahead and get this bunker. You're a lot less likely to get griefed here, but you do take quite a hit to your bank account up front, so keep that in mind. Now that we've gone through the locations and you know which one you'd like to buy, we can start talking about some of the optional upgrades if you wish to apply them. Now the first choice that you're going to have to make is which style you want. There's three options here, and I don't recommend upgrading past the base one, as all you're realistically doing is painting the walls in your cave that's made out of rocks. For me, I think it's a waste of money, but if you have the extra money and you really like blue or yellow and spending money, go ahead and buy this. The next option that you're greeted with is a personal quarters. Basically, it's a little bedroom. This will allow you to spawn directly at your bunker when you enter a new session, which is great if you guys want to find a new session, buy a thing of supplies. It's really good. I do recommend this. It's $265,000, so it's not the cheapest, but it is well worth it, and you will save a lot of time with this upgrade. The third possible option you can upgrade to is a shooting range. It comes in two options, with black targets or white targets. The black ones cost $740,000, while the white ones cost $845,000. If you buy the white ones and you want to change to the black ones, it's going to cost you 50 grand. Vice versa, will cost you 105. I don't really recommend getting this unless you want a shooting range, as it is pretty fun. You can get some RP from doing challenges. It's a good place to mess around with your friends to avoid griefers. And also, you can increase your sticky bomb capacity and grenade capacity by 5, so you'll now be able to hold 30 of each. The Gun Locker is a utility that's found in multiple properties around Los Santos. It allows you to customize your loadout so you don't have to scroll through your entire weapon wheel to pull out your Heavy Sniper Mark II. I do recommend getting this if you don't already have one, as it only costs 175k, and it will save you a lot of frustration in the long run. The final option you have is transportation. You have two options for this, the Caddy 1, which is $85,000, or the Caddy 2, which is $120,000. Neither of these caddies are going to help you in any way, shape, or form. They're not going to make anything more efficient. They don't even go faster than you can move on your feet in the bunker, so I wouldn't recommend getting them unless you're purely doing it because you think it's funny. Once you actually buy your bunker, Agent 14 is going to give you a phone call and tell you to come set it up. You'll do a quick mission, and you'll basically just go pick up a vehicle, drive it back, and you'll have full supplies, and your bunker will start producing. Initial production will be rather slow, producing 1 unit every 10 minutes. Profit will not be great right off the bat either, as each unit's only going to be valued at $5,000. A full bar of supplies will net you $50K or 10 units. Do not ever buy supplies with an unupgraded bunker, as the only possible profit will be via the player bonus, which I'll cover here in a few minutes. While initially with no upgrades this business does not sound great, you can find the upgrade section on your computer in your bunker. The equipment upgrade, which is going to run you $1.155 million, and the staff upgrade, which will run you $598,000, both do essentially the same thing, or at least so close that I couldn't tell the difference with my tests and I couldn't find any differences researching. Both upgrades add 40% or $1,000 to the value per unit. This equates to the units being worth either $5,000, $6,000, or $7,000. Both these upgrades also make the bunker 40% more efficient with supplies. So, a bunker with both of these upgrades will chew through a full bar of supplies in 2 hours and 20 minutes, producing $140,000 or $60,000 an hour. The bunker can hold 100 units, and that number cannot be changed. I know this is probably hard to keep up with all these numbers, so here's a quick visual of what your income will look like with no upgrades, one, and both upgrades. The last upgrade that you can add on is the security upgrade, which will run you $351,000. Now, the in-game description isn't super clear, and it's kind of hard to know exactly what this actually does, but don't worry, because I tested it, and I figured out exactly what it does. You can get raided if your bunker is over half stock and you're registered as an MC or CEO. You can also only be raided if your bunker's over half stock and you have not been in an activity or contact mission within 5 hours. By purchasing this upgrade, it's going to double that time, allowing you to effectively AFK for 10 hours while your bunker or all your other businesses produce. You can AFK in the shooting range in the bunker, or you can watch the DJ live stream in the nightclub if you have that. Under the Manage Staff tab, you can assign them to manufacturing, research, or both. Research basically unlocks weapons for weaponized vehicles, it'll unlock liveries for some of the weaponized vehicles, and basically just a bunch of special stuff. If you do assign them to both, keep in mind that it's going to cut your manufacturing productivity in half. If you assign them solely to research, they're going to produce research the same way that they would produce product, so at the same rate. Now that you guys are all experts on the bunker's production, we can go over how to sell it. When you actually go to sell, there's going to be 2 options for selling. One of them is going to be close, Blaine County. The other one's going to be far, Los Santos. If you sell to Los Santos, you'll get a 50% bonus to the value of your stock. I highly recommend selling to Los Santos every single time, as you're literally just making more money and it's easier to drive there and you have better cover with the skyscrapers, so griefers are going to have a harder time killing you. But wait, there's more, because once you choose your sell location, you can now calculate your player bonus. Now, the way this works is pretty simple. Basically, for every 1 player in your lobby, you're going to be granted a 1% bonus on your final sale value, meaning the more players, the bigger the bonus. Also, I highly recommend saving up as much stock as you can, as that will also increase the bonus. Really, the only other thing I can tell you about sale missions is don't worry when people blow you up. And I know that might sound like, dude, I just lost $2.6 million. What do you mean? I mean, if someone's coming after you and you know you're not going to make it, they're going to get you. Or they do get you just as fast as you can, force quit your game. That'll make it so it doesn't save. It'll save that you started the sale, but it's the same thing as your game crashing and it not being your fault. So what Rockstar does is they just take 2 units out of your bunker. So that's either going to be $10,000, $12,000, or $14,000, which is a lot better than losing $1.3 million or $2.6 million on double money. As far as the sale goes itself, there's 6 possible missions you can get. Some are better than others. Trust me. The best possible mission to get is the Phantom Wedge mission. You're going to get 15 minutes to deliver a maximum of 2 vehicles down to the docks. This is a really easy mission. Basically, you get in the Phantom Wedge, you're going to drive for a little bit, and then when your global signal goes away, you're going to be given a 3-star wanted level, and all you have to do is basically just plow through all the cops. If they're giving you that much of a problem, hop in a cargo bob, you can pick up the trailer. If someone's trying to blow you up, disconnect from the trailer because they can't lock onto it, and let them blow up the Phantom Wedge, and then just find another semi-truck if you have the MOC, spawn that. We'll go over the MOC here in a few minutes. The second best cell mission in the game is the Insurgent Jammer one. This mission has a 15-minute time limit and a maximum of 3 vehicles that can spawn. Those vehicles are insurgents, regular insurgents, not the pickup. Also, for this mission, you do need to have a teammate in order to get it. I highly recommend that you guys stay close to your teammates who are in the other insurgents during this mission because that'll activate the jammer. The jammer makes it so to other players in the lobby, you're not on the map, your product's not on the map, they don't even know you're doing a cell mission. This is a really good mission, but I think the Phantom one's a little bit better because you do need to have a teammate in order to start this one. Another possibility when you go to cell is Insurgent Pickup Customs. Now, there is actually 2 separate missions with the Insurgent Pickup Customs. The only way to tell the difference between these missions right at the start would be either if you know all the phone calls you're going to get from Agent 14, which is pretty unrealistic, or you can look at the time limit. If you have the 30-minute mission, you're in for one. I'll tell you that. In the 30-minute mission, you're going to spawn a maximum of 3 Insurgent Pickup Customs, and you're going to have to make a delivery with each of them before you can make the second delivery with any of them. For solo players, that makes this nearly impossible, especially if you have griefers that are going to be anywhere near any of your cell points or your bunker. However, there is another version to this mission which is a lot better. If you notice when you start it that it's only 15 minutes long, be very grateful. Because this mission is really easy. You're going to get 15 minutes, obviously, and a maximum of 3 vehicles spawning. Each of those vehicles only has to be brought to 1 singular drop, meaning this mission can be done solo and it's really, really easy. Sometimes random things might happen during this mission. You could just somehow obtain a 1-star or get a bunch of NPCs that start following you and trying to shoot at you. But you're not going to have anything that's hard to handle. It's an easy mission. The Dune FAV mission isn't horrible, but it's also not my favorite. Now, this mission is going to give you 15 minutes and a maximum of 4 vehicles. And what you're going to do is get in the vehicles, you make 4 drops that are marked on the map, and once you do that, the 5th one appears. These are pretty easy, and I recommend you actually go on the train tracks to get to the last drop. Try to stay off-road. The game kind of sets it up so there's pretty easy routes to get away from people trying to kill you. Now, the NPCs can be pretty annoying, but it's not that big of a deal, as the Dune FAV is equipped with explosive proximity mines, which you can just drop to instantly drop your pursuers, and a passenger-operated minigun. However, being that this can spawn up to 4 vehicles, and typically it spawns more vehicles than other missions, you probably won't have anyone on that minigun, so rely heavily on the mines. The only other mission you can get is the Marshal mission. This is going to spawn up to 3 monster trucks and give you 15 minutes to complete 5 drops with each. Now, generally, the drops are scattered throughout the mountains off-road, but there is a route you're supposed to take. Just hit them all in a line. Sometimes it'll line up. Sometimes you end up doing it backwards by accident. You don't realize, making things harder for yourself. There's also going to be NPC helicopters that pursue you. They can be super annoying, but if you just don't focus on them and you keep driving, it's going to be hard for them to get a good angle to kill you. Once you buy a bunker, you might notice a lot of notifications, texts, and emails trying to prompt you to buy an MOC. Now you might be wondering what that is, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is right now. The Mobile Operations Center, or MOC for short, is a literal behemoth semi-truck, and I absolutely love it. The first and most important decision you have to make when you're purchasing one is which cab you're going to get. Now, there's 2 cabs to choose from, the Phantom and the Hauler. There has been a ton of debate on which one is better, so I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about both and let you make the decision for yourself. The Phantom Cab is the cheaper of the 2 options at just over $1.2 million, but make no mistake, it is just as powerful as its competition. It comes standard with bullet-resistant glass, meaning unless someone is running FMJ, it'll be almost impossible to get killed just by driving by someone. The Phantom is also a little faster in a straight line, and it's capable of seating 5. Just keep in mind that the trailer is going to block the 3 rear seating positions. Also, at the time of recording this, the Phantom actually is experiencing a bug, making it block the front-mounted cannon, which can lead to some unexpected explosions of your cab. The other option's the Hauler. Now, the Hauler is my personal pick, coming in at $1.4 million. It is the more expensive option, but well worth the money in my opinion. Having a shorter overall length makes the Hauler much easier to maneuver through the city without a trailer, and with a trailer. The Hauler is slightly slower in a straight line than the Phantom, however, it seems to handle much better. It's a lot better for sliding around corners and spinning around really fast. The Hauler cab is also affected slightly by the bug where it's blocking the front-mounted turret, however, it is a lot more noticeable on the Phantom, and if you want to use the front-mounted turret, I would actually just recommend buying the Hauler only. So overall, I would say that if you're a solo player and you want an absolute unit of a vehicle, go for the Phantom because it has the bullet-resistant glass. And a lot of people do think it looks cooler too. However, if you plan on having someone on your turret, or you're going to be towing a lot in the city and you're going to be in tight areas and you know it, just go ahead and get the Hauler. Now, the main selling point for me when I was buying the MOC was its durability. This thing can take over 60 homing missiles, meaning 3 oppressors on your tail hitting every single shot isn't going to be enough to kill you. They're going to have to get a 4th one in on it, and they're really going to have to be very precise. Now, both cabs are not your typical semi. They're extremely, extremely fast for what they are. They have so much torque, and they are a lot more off-road capable than you might initially believe. Another amazing feature about both of these cabs is the ability to shoot behind you even though you can't get shot in the back. There's no rear window, so you're bulletproof from the back. You can take 60 missiles, so nothing's going to blow you up. If you see a Phantom MOC or Hauler MOC, because they both work, backing up to you, just leave the game because there's literally nothing you can do except for drop a grenade on the ground and blow yourself up. Now let's move into the trailer. The MOC trailer is not your standard semi-trailer. It is significantly wider, meaning you can clip telephone poles with the front corners, which will either bring you to a complete halt or cause a wildly entertaining crash. At first, this can be extremely annoying, but you'll get used to it rather quickly. You can enter the rear to modify weapons, weaponized vehicles, outfits, or sit down in the command center and man a turret. You can also add personal vehicle storage if you want something in there other than a gun-running vehicle. I highly recommend adding the command center because it adds a turret above the cab similar to that of an Avenger. You're also able to do some special vehicle work to unlock the trade prices for the Oppressor Mark 1, the APC, Weaponized Tampa, the Half-Track, the Dune FAV, that trailer thing, so on. These are also really fun, and they do go on triple money all the time, and they pay around 50 grand when they're on triple money, so I highly recommend the command center. Additionally, if you did your research, you can add 2 more of these absolute unit cannons on the back. This turret alone is one of the most powerful weapons in the game, and you add that to the fact that this beast takes more missiles than 3 Oppressor Mark IIs can even carry, and you'll know that you've made a very good investment. All in all, I'm going to be giving the bunker an 8.5 out of 10, as it does hold the most stock at over $1 million. However, it does not make the most money per hour due to the recent buffs of the MC businesses on Expanded Enhanced. If you guys want to learn more about GTA businesses and which business makes the most, be sure to check out my channel. And as always, guys, enjoy your lives. Peace out.